Guys, it's Friday the 13th, February 2026. You're looking at some of the original camera images coming out of the Guthrie case. This is Nancy's home. I've got it paused in the center because there's a new image that come out. Now, I'm not talking about the one yesterday where we saw it look like an elderly gentleman trying to set a backpack over a fence in a carport. Another one has come out from another Ring camera, and what they're doing is releasing film from the different Ring cams in the neighborhood, guys, and hoping that they can get some more information. I do know there's a conflict between the sheriff of Pima County and the FBI because the FBI wants to take some type, maybe the glove or something, forensic evidence to Quantico and examine it. The sheriff does not want to release that information or release that property to them. But again, here in the center is the best pictures. This is just 3 different angles, but in the middle, and like just where I paused it, guys, again, it's either a cigarette in their mouth or one of the small lighters, because this is infrared, and so something's very bright there. We're going to get a close-up, and I'll put a circle over that dot, and we'll take a little closer look at it and compare it to the brand new Ring camera images coming out. And I think it's very overhyped as far as one case. No life is invaluable. That's not what I'm saying. But there's a lot going on, and there's a lot of attention being brought to this case. I'd like to see it over because there's a lot going on in other places that need to be taken care of too. We need to keep an eye on the borders. We're not really sure what all is going on down in El Paso, just taking a guess. But again, this was someone walked back over there, picked up some flowers, tried to hide the camera. Then that camera ended up missing. Here's the new Ring image. And from a neighbor's, you can Ring phone, you can tell it's not Nancy's porch, but look at this. Now, we're going to do some comparison here. I'm not going to draw this out very long, but because I would like to for them to find her alive and get some type of finalization to this thing. But here's the picture on the left. That's from the first video. Again, it's a cigarette or one of the little flashlights in the mouth. And it appears that there is a mustache. See this right there? It's hard to say. And you can see the eyebrows here. They don't look so prominent, but again, it's not here. There's a much brighter camera or light on this particular Ring phone. Anyway, this is the new one on the right. Anybody in that area know who this guy is? He appears to be Hispanic. I'm not sure. It's hard to say with these night vision, but this is the new camera, and the guy's definitely hiding. He came into that porch, kind of crept down behind it, looked back over the street, looked at the neighbors' houses to see if anybody was watching them. Then he came right here. So if you guys have any information about this at all, contact, I guess, the Pima County Sheriff. I'm not sure what the battle lines are being drawn between him and the FBI. And there's been competence questions brought up. Is that sheriff, has he done all he can, or has he bungled the investigation from Jump Street? Or is he trying to protect information from disappearing? You understand what I'm saying? We really don't know whose side is on whose these days after what we saw with Pam Bundy and the Democrats the other day. Anyway, I just wanted to put this out there. Here's the first image on the left, and on the right is the new image. You guys in that area, check it out. If you can help them find this lady, do it. At least get some finalization to it, one way or the other. Find her alive, or let the family know what's going on. We don't know who's involved. I'm not going to speculate on who it is. All we can do is use a few pictures here, but it's been quite an unusual investigation. How many times can you go back to the same house? What did you miss 10 times before that? It's a very small house. It's not that large. What is going on? And then when we saw the tent yesterday, remember that, the white tent set up over a porch? From one report I saw that was more than likely set up because they were going to do what's called a LiDAR scan of that porch. And they could actually put another ring camera there, LiDAR scan the information they have of that, put a 3D model together, and come up with some additional information. That's the report. Anyway, guys, we're watching it. There's a lot going on. We don't know about the SAVE Act, but now it went from 45 Republicans to 49 Republicans to get to that 50-vote threshold if they use the standing filibuster. We'll just have to wait and see. Now, the DHS Funding Act did not go through, but remember, they're funded until 2029. So that, I don't know how that's going to work out, if they're going to bring it back up for another vote or whatever. I just wanted to update you on that. The SAVE Act is probably the most important act or bill in the United States in the last 200 years. That's how important it is, especially in the situation we are in right now. And guys, with the information, again, from the laser video last night, the locust laser thing that happened in El Paso, we are only given so much information that we can assimilate, guys. And so we may not ever know what really happened. Is there a threat across the border? There was also 1,500 troops moved to another location in Arizona, in Arizona, not El Paso, Texas. 1,500 troops moved down there to the border. I don't know if that was a routine thing, but what we've heard in the narratives is that there's 0 crossings most of this year, and last year. So I'm not sure what's going on. There must be picking up intel. We've been told for how many years, guys, that there are sales across the border, possibly cartels, possibly Chinese, and with the Venezuela situation, we were told there was Hamas, Hezbollah, and the Houthis, proxies of Iran in Venezuela. And Venezuela was the gateway up through the immigration for 4 years. Tren de Agua come from that. And now they're saying that Tren de Agua is running the Mexican cartels, but they're Venezuelan. So we don't know what's going on right there. I think a lot of the national defense movement is because of incoming threats. What we're dealing with, if you look at it right to the core, we have demonic, probably fallen angel entities in most of the power points, the presidents, prime ministers, the kings, all of that. And they are bent on destruction of God's creation. They have been since Satan stepped into the garden and did what he did with Eve and created the Kenite race of the fallen angel race. Now, so that's what we're dealing with. And that trickles down through every government agency, one way or the other. Not that it corrupts everyone involved, but it corrupts every department involved somehow. And it's obvious on one side of the aisle, but the other side, they try to hide it. But it's getting harder and harder to hide. I saw a couple of comments, guys, on other videos, not mine, about Trump saying how Bundy was magnificent in that hearing we watched the other day, right? About the Epstein files and a couple of other people. But what you and I saw was a different story. I saw deflection, diversion, and basically childish reaction from her by not getting her standard talking points across. She always deflected to Trump did this, Trump did that. We weren't talking about Trump, Miss Bundy. Nothing personal, but if you're going to hide information, maybe you're in the wrong job. Just saying. Anyway, guys, we're watching it. You watch it. This is a heads up. Be safe.